I mean, I've heard from friends. Apparently, there's one thing that's pretty common on like Tinder, on Coffee Meet Bagel and all that shit. But apparently a lot of people on online dating sites use the word open-minded as a substitute for like
Hi, my name is Aarti. I run the blog and account Curves Become Her, turning 40 at the end of the year.
Hello, my name is Yuwen. I'm 35. I'm an engineer. On the sexuality spectrum, I identify as bisexual and I'm also poly-amorous.
Hi, I'm Vanessa and I run the account Up and Out. I'm 23 this year.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Annie. I'm 52. I run an events agency. I also do training. At the same time, I'm also a president of a women's association. And on top of it, I'm also a certified matchmaker. I guess to a certain extent, as I grow older, I realize as a woman, I do get certain privileges. The interesting thing is if you are much more attractive women, you get even more privileges. I mean, I went through that spectrum because there was a period of time whereby I was kind of like down and out. I didn't quite care how I look, and so basically look very auntie. Yeah? So even when I try to get some things, right, like say, oh hi, can you help me? You get like disgusting look in your face, like what must I help auntie? Then after when I improve on my looks, I keep myself and all that, right? Even simple thing, I just say, oh hi, can you help? Yeah, sure. Where you want to put this? So it's sad, but I guess you just enjoyed it while it lasts.
For me, I also never really thought about that question, but I think I was a bit luckier compared to a lot of my peers because my parents were extremely protective of me, which means that I never really went out on my own, and consequently I never really got catcalled alone in the streets. I was never followed because I was never alone and that kind of things. These were only stuff that I realized was normal when I talked to my friends as I was older, which is kind of sad. But I think, I don't know whether it's because of the people I surround myself with, but I like it that girls or women now are becoming more aggressive. Like they know their place in society and they're not afraid to put their foot down and be like, what? No, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's the same for me. I never really noticed there were any differences between the gender because when I was young, I actually liked boy activities. I like playing with jigsaw, Lego, playing with my dad's tools. And I think my father was really okay with it. He didn't say like, oh cool, okay, you are a girl, you should play with your Barbie doll. He just let me do whatever I wanted. But yeah, so it's only until I started working and then people talk about the gender pay gap, and then because I'm in a male-dominated industry, and then I noticed how male and female may sometimes receive different treatment. And then it's a topic that's been coming up more and more frequently. So I see articles on my social media, and then I would go back and think about my own life. But before that, I didn't really notice any stark differences. Yeah.
I think for me, I noticed the differences from a very young age, especially being South Asian and constantly being told, but you're a girl, and so you are not able to do those things that a boy can do. Ironically, my parents never really pushed the female gender on me. So in terms of presentation, so I dressed like a boy and I played with boy toys and I had boy cousins that I hung out with mostly. And even growing up, I was always one of the boys. And I was just more comfortable. And I remember questioning and asking my mother, why couldn't I be a boy instead of a girl? Because I feel so much more comfortable and I can do so many things as a boy. And I feel like every time there is something that is going to restrict me, it's the fact that I'm a girl. And as I grew older, just like the rest of them, it came to light a lot more. And I became very involved in feminism, in my activism, and I present as bisexual as well and pansexual, and I recently came out as non-binary because this question is almost like a life-defining question that I've had to ask myself over the past few years. So yeah.
Actually, for me, the very interesting thing is about this being comfortable in my body, being more attuned with my sexuality. I would say it only happened after I got divorced. All right. I mean, my ex-husband is a local Chinese and all that. So sex was like the usual. You're married, so you enjoy sex and all that. You have sex and all that, right? But so it was pretty much that. All right. So I wasn't like very sensitive even then about like my own body and all that. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm built this way. I'm a little bit chubby. I'm a little bit bigger, as some people. But that was about it. But only after I got divorced and I kind of lapsed into this phase of like self-denial, lack of self-care and all that, right? So I put on some weight, but along the way I got to meet one of my ex-boyfriend, all right, a long-distance relationship, and he somehow made me see myself again. All right, he was telling me, hey Annie, if you're running your own events, you're running your own business, how could you let yourself go? All right, so that was how he got me to recognize myself, and he also started telling me, say, hey, you need to lose some weight. But whatever he says, that I got a bit frustrated. I said, look, if you should like me for who I am, right? Not just because I'm a few pounds lighter, you will like me better. But he has a way around it. He said, no, I'm not saying about that, right? He said, and as we get older, our bones will get a bit more brittle, So he went the other route, okay? So I'm like, okay, fair enough. So, but what he got me to see was that at the end of the day, it's being healthy.
For me, I'm a bit inexperienced in terms of exploring my sexuality because it really was quite recent that I learned the concept that sexuality existed on a spectrum instead of just, you have to be straight. And I think I'm straight. I've only ever had feelings for people who identify as men. So for now, yeah, I'm straight. But my current boyfriend is a lot more open-minded than I am. So when we have conversations about our sexuality, I think I've slowly learned that things are fluid. Things might change, and we're still young. We shall see.
Well, I see it this way, like for females or people with vaginas, the sexual experience is more of sort of embodied. It is not an end goal. It's not like I really want to achieve orgasm, and so sort of sensual in a way. It really allows for you to explore more about how you feel about your body and what you do and how it influences how you feel physically and sexually.
I think that it took me time to really explore myself sexually rather than thinking about my sexuality, because I feel like a lot of the consent was taken away from me in the first few relationships that I had. I guess I wasn't really informed on like what consent would look like and what that meant. So it took quite a bit of time for me to really become comfortable, because it was mixed with a lot of body shaming and a lot of, okay, so I'm plus sized and I'm a brown girl and inherently I'm not desirable, and I also have feelings for girls, but I have feelings for guys too, and I don't really know where I stand. And so I guess I used to be kind of like grateful if anyone like paid any attention to me. So the line of consent was really blurred, and it wasn't until I met my now husband that I really navigated it with a gentle, more sensual, more explorative, more experimental approach, which was all, consent has been so important to him from the very, very beginning, whether it's in the decisions that we make as a couple or, us in the bedroom. So it was after that I was truly able to be more explorative. And he was the first person I came out to as well. So yeah, that's been my journey with sexuality. Wow. It took a minute to really navigate disability, and I was really worried for a while after I injured my knee because, there are a few positions that I really like and I was not sure if I could do them again. So it took a bit of practice and we did a bit of tweaking, and I had to ask my physiotherapist, which was really embarrassing, but they were really nice about it because they understood, I am who I am, I am a sexual being. And so we've managed to navigate it and make it comfortable, and we have props, I guess, to put me at ease and stuff like that. Yeah.
Not for me, okay, because I just feel that I think as we progress in life, as we journey through our life, right? I guess there's certain time that we are just meant to learn about certain things. I guess, it's also maybe with age, I'm a little bit more comfortable in myself. I'm not so afraid about if I do this, will people look at me differently? If I don't do such a thing, will people think that I'm not desirable, right? So never quite when I start exploring myself, getting more comfortable in my body, I never quite think back when I'm in my 20s, did I miss out something? But it has passed. If I missed it, I missed it, right? So I just look forward to, okay, so what's ahead, right? Whether it's with this current guy that I'm with or with my ex, what are the things that we actually explore together? At the end of the day, I tell myself, it's not just about myself. My partner also has to enjoy what we are doing it, right? My past few partners as well, I've always made sure that I get satisfied first, and then they enjoy themselves. Yeah.
Okay, a lot of my regrets would come from the cultural values that I've learned from my parents, my schools, my peers. I wish I knew that there was no right way of doing things. I wish I knew that my comfort levels were non-negotiable, and that it was okay to state what you want and force it, even if the other person might not be completely happy with it, things like consent, I think, is very important to me now, and I wish younger me knew, so that I wasn't it didn't feel like an obligation, to kiss when you're dating someone, or to do anything physically intimate just because you're dating someone, or just because the other person felt like I think it's time, but there's no time to these things. It's whether or not you feel like you want to. There's also the fact that I think it's expected that a lot of girls will grow up to be mothers. When people talk to me, a lot of them will say things like, what about kids? Or I hear a lot of when can I hold my grandkids, or when are you getting married, as if that's the default that I should be wanting. But sometimes people don't want kids, or what if you don't want to get married, or what if you cannot get married in Singapore, and that kind of thing. So yeah, I wish more people knew and taught that there's no set rule to these kind of things, and you should just take your time to learn what you like and want before you start imposing your expectations on yourself.
I wish there were more plus-size role models, and less of idol dramas that portray women as having the perfect figure or a certain figure. Because I did struggle with self-confidence when I was younger, and I used to think that I am not sexy because I'm fat. Although my journey of exploring my sexuality was relatively smooth, I would say, compared to other people. But I wish I knew earlier that I am super sexy the way I am.
I also, just like you, I wish that we had more representation for diverse bodies, regardless of beauty, and just showing more real people, which, I'm glad there is now, but it would have been so good to have seen women like us in magazines and on runways back then, and confident women talking about it. I had some amazing role models like Queen Latifah, Monique, but they never really talked about embracing yourself and embracing your body, because there was still so much fear about talking about that, in the worry of you're promoting something that's unhealthy, when our bodies are different. Nobody was built the same way. So yeah, these are some of my regrets.
I don't think that a right partner exists for anyone in the world. I don't think there's a soulmate or just this one person you're meant to complement like perfectly, 100%. Oh my God, we have everything in common. No. But I do think that it's important to find someone who is willing to learn and grow with you. Because I feel like a lot of people, the reason why they stop being complementary is because, every person grows, but they just grew apart and they stop making an effort to grow together. Find someone who you can be completely honest with, because that's how growth happens, right? You have to be honest first. Find someone who will accept you with all your perceived flaws, and make sure that you guys can critique each other, and yeah, just go through life together. Nothing is perfect. You will fight and things will be shit. But if it's a good life partner, then they should be with you as a partner, like fighting through whatever battles you will have in life.
I agree with you. I don't think there is such a thing as the right partner. I think that if a person is able to just connect with you on so many levels and is able to, I guess, endure, whatever is thrown at them, and work together as a team. I pride myself a lot on teamwork with my husband. So yeah.
I would say find someone whose good points you really respect and value, and someone whose bad points you can bear. Yeah, because nobody is perfect. Maybe in a few months or a year, the initial attraction or infatuation would die, and then all that is left is your choice to stay. And so what will help you stay and be committed to the relationship is, of course, to work on your issues together. But then right at the start, you need to figure out what your prospective partner's good points and bad points are, so that you can evaluate. I know I say this in a very engineer way, so you can evaluate whether you really these good points really matter to you and are things that you see in the person, and whether the bad points are the things that you can, for lack of a better word, bear in the long run.
I guess for me, right, as I mentioned earlier on, I'm actually a certified matchmaker. I'm also a dating coach. So what normally, although I do that as a side passion, that's not my main passion, right? So what I normally tell my client is that, most importantly, okay, yes, I agree what all three ladies say, that there isn't that perfect one for you. But what is more important is that find the one that at least share the same value in terms of relationship. All right. So, for example, if they believe in having a family, they believe that extended family are important and all that. At least find the person who share the same value. All right. If they don't share the same value, you can share the same hobby. It's still going to come to a dead end, because hobbies can change, right? I mean, value is not likely to change overnight. But hobbies can. I mean, maybe now, I enjoy running because I feel that, I like a tan skin and all that. But after a while, I may think that, no, I think I still like fair skin. And then I decided to stop running. Then what if my partner say, what, you're gonna run with me anymore? Right? So values is not so likely to change unless you maybe go through some very serious life-changing moments. Then maybe your value may shift. Right? But hobby, there's a chance of hobby changing. So I always tell them, at least find someone who share the same value as you. That is the most important. Just say no.
I just say no.
No.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Nah, not now.
Sorry.
I'm tired.
Not in the mood.
Yeah, just
I
say
won't
no.
even say sorry.
Yeah.
Not in the mood.
Yeah, I don't think there's a need to say sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay, we don't have to be uptight about it. We don't have to be nasty about
exactly.
it, right? So if my partner were to come closer and you know what he wants, but if I'm just not in the mood, I mean, I'll probably just like maybe just cuddle. I mean, if the person is with you for a while, you know, he will also know how you react would means that you are not ready for something, right? So it's how you react back to him. I mean, if you just cuddle and you don't do anything more than beyond a cuddle, then he's very likely he's going to know, okay, maybe my partner is not ready, maybe she's like tired and all that kind of thing. Yeah, so I don't think there's a need to really verbalize, no. All right, I think it's more like, okay, how I react back to him. Yeah.
That rarely happens to me. So I'm not sure how to reply this question.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I have a high libido. It's more like my boyfriend's really scared of me.
I mean, like I don't say it that aggressively because I know that he doesn't come on that aggressively, right? It'll just be like, can we not? Or like, I'm tired today. Or like, can you do it yourself? I help you. You know? You want me to help you hold the phone? Yeah. I've never gone I've never met anyone online before, so I don't think I'm really a great person to be asked this. I'm a major introvert, so I will never like go online and be like, want to meet? I don't want to meet anybody. I mean, I've heard from friends, again, this is just secondhand information, but apparently there's one thing that's pretty common on like Tinder, on Coffee Meet Bagel and all that shit. Sometimes when people will put things in their bio like don't talk to me unless you're open-minded. I don't know whether you guys have. You have? Yeah, I also didn't know about it until my friend told me about it. But apparently a lot of people on online dating sites use the word open-minded as a substitute for like, I want to hook up. Or they will use it as a roundabout way to ask you for sex without, like they have an ulterior motive. And they won't be direct about it. So they just go one big round, wasting time. And then ultimately they're like, are you a virgin? Do you hook up? That, not a great impression, and I'm thankful that I don't really do that online dating thing. Yeah.
So I think the apps are all sort of developing, and they're improving over the years so that you get less crap. Because in the past, I would get a lot of creepy messages from people, from certain guys. But now they have improved algorithms so that, like, you know, for Bumble, only the women can make a move. So you don't get a lot of like crappy messages and like from creeps. Because I've been using online dating apps for quite long, so I do have my own sort of way of filtering. There are many people who are there. Like you said, they put open-minded, but actually they are just looking for hookups. But there are also people who are really open-minded. So I would choose based on app interface. My current favorite is OkCupid because it is more tailored to people on the sexuality spectrum and who have different relationship styles. And there's a lot of parts to your profile that you can fill in certain like how you identify, so that people can know exactly how you feel at the current moment instead of like only generic choices. So I find that is a bit better for me.
I got married before the iPhone was created. So, no. The only dating app I have been on is Bumble BFF.
What?
Bumble BFF is a way to meet like other friends, to make friends, because I'm an introvert. Yeah. And I had like a friend breakup, so I was like, okay, let's check this out. But it was so weird for me. I was like, I don't know how to do this. It's so weird. So I logged off. But going by almost all of my girlfriends, all of my friends are on dating apps. Going by all of the ghosting and all of the weird cultures that have come up, that have arisen from dating apps. I think it has its good and its bad, its merits. And I'm glad that there's an app that, you know, actually goes further with like your sexual preferences, because I don't think I've heard but then a lot of my girlfriends are not bi or pan as well. So I think a lot of my friends who are queer found their mates beyond dating apps, like in person or through another friend or something. But I do know that, you know, there are a lot of dodgy characters in these apps like I wish we had a registry for, because especially because it's such a small country, and we could be like, okay, this guy, he's on all of these apps, and this is what he says he does, but he does not, and just like protect our people while we're at it.
Actually, like I think I've seen someone on Instagram post a picture of this creepy guy's DMs and his profile and be like, girls, if you see this guy on whatever dating app you're using, do not reply to him, or like he's this kind of person. And I really like it when people do that, because I feel like you're protecting other people as well. The sad thing is a lot of people DM'd her and said that you shouldn't be revealing this guy's name because you're ruining his reputation and all that stuff. But like, honestly, these creeps, like, why do you have to protect them?
Actually, there's also another theory, and it's that basically it runs by some syndicate. So you will notice that sometime, like, you know, a certain person chat with you after like maybe just 2 or 3 chats, and they'll always address you like, hi honey, hi sweetie. You notice that they will never really address you by your name. So there's this another theory, is because it's run by a syndicate, right? So it's like, let's say I'm one of the syndicate person. I go to work, I log into work. I could be a female, but I've got this list of people that I'm supposed to be chatting with. So I may not be able to remember, and then tomorrow somebody else will come in and log in and talk to you again. So you realize something, right? There's a certain pattern. After a while, you realize, why is he always asking me some things about like, what do you work as? Like, didn't I tell you yesterday? Then when you're asking me again what I'm working as, like, don't you remember? I mean, if you're keen to know me, isn't that the most basic? So after a while, you realize that there's this patterns that will keep repeating itself. To me, I'm like, even you want to scam, don't pick a celebrity, don't pick somebody that you Google, you can find a guy, right? So that's why you notice, I think sometimes it's just people's photograph being taken, all right, and it's being circulated. So like what your friend did to that guy, it may not even be him. The photo may not even be him, right? So that's why I always sometimes tell my client, if you're on dating apps, guys who are very reluctant to go off the app and at least chat with you in person, be a bit more cautious. I'm not saying that he's definitely a scammer, because some people take time to get used to it, and then they want to talk to you out of the app. Give the person a chance. I mean, but if after talking on WhatsApp or whatever it is, and now you want to initiate a call or initiate a meetup, and the person keep giving you all sorts of excuses, that should be a red light. That should be a red flag. Like, why is he not willing to see me? If you keep proclaiming that, oh, I miss you so much, and now I'm giving you a chance to meet me in person for coffee, and then you are rejecting it.
For me, it was the pill because it was the cheapest. That's it. Just the cheapest.
I was on the pill, but I have infertility, and I have no intention to have children anymore, so none right now.
I'm a bit afraid of the pill because I am afraid of
Side effects.
hormonal medication. I only use condoms. I
was on the pill for a while. Then after my gynae told me that because I'm already above 40, so it's not the best. So after that, I moved on to use an IUD. So basically, it's this little contraption that we insert in through the vagina. So it kind of like pumps out, I think, certain hormones. So it blocks like the sperm if you're sexually active, and at the same time, it actually kind of like balance my hormone as well. Yeah. I still like my own hand. Although I got sex toy, but somehow, I think nothing beats feeling myself and touching myself.
For me, I've been like browsing, but I haven't gotten it yet because it's expensive. My partner and I, we plan to use it together when we're together. So I want him to browse with me also and help me pick also. So yeah, for now it's just finger.
I understand. I used to have a much smaller collection or no collection of sex toys because it was expensive. But now that I am working, I do spend more money on sex toys. I think my favorite would be my dildo that I call George. His name is George, yes. But I also have a G-spot stimulator. And I also have some anal toys, which I really enjoy. Yeah, that's about it.
I started out with like the bullet vibrator, and that was amazing. When I was dating women, my girlfriend had a two-way dildo, which was awesome. And we used nipple clamps as well. I'm quite explorative, so I have the wedge thing at home for easier access. Definitely explored some BDSM. Yeah, for sure. My Hitachi is still my best friend. Yeah. No, no. It's how you work it that matters.
For me, not so much as well, because I enjoy foreplay more, and I think that is a skill that is lacking in quite a lot of men.
Yes.
Yeah, because they feel like they need to reach the destination, but it's
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
like you have to get there, but it's more like please pleasure me along the way. I want to be constantly stimulated, and so like Aarti said, it's also about how you use it. But a lot of it is, I think I would enjoy his hands more, his tongue, more sensual stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of the actual intercourse.
Yeah, I don't think size matters. Because, if you have something that's too big, you don't have to have penis and vagina sex. You can use a dildo and then use your hand to stimulate, right? If your penis is too small, you can also use a dildo. And it's more flexible, that way you get to choose the size that you want. So, I don't think it really matters. There's artificial means for the size that you want if you're not satisfied with the organic size, right? So yeah. But that being said, I know a lot of guys are very insecure about size, especially because they compare a lot within themselves from what I've heard. So that's kind of sad. Size don't matter. It depends on how you use it.
Yeah, I mean, I have my fair share. I would say that, yeah, it doesn't really quite matter. I mean, maybe at the first instant or the first couple of times, yeah, it seems a bit like, wow. But I think after a while, when you get through the whole motion and you're actually in the actual relationship, it doesn't, the size really is out of the window. Right? I mean, the foreplay comes in, the way that both of you and your partner know how to stimulate each other. I think that's where it's more interesting.
Keep each other interested, tease each other. I like to drop him naughty, suggestive texts. And, I do enjoy lingerie. Yeah, so, that's how we keep that fire alive. And we have date nights, which is always awesome. And making sure that we have quality time for ourselves.
My friends who are couples who have a healthy sex lives are those who take time to go on date nights, have time for themselves. From what I can tell, it's really important to sort of rekindle the flame. Just have a night where you're not talking about your children's needs or your parents' needs or like medical bills or how to pay the bills or about your job, but really to kindle the love that you have for each other.
From my experience and from talking to my partner and like imagining the future, I would say that continue being creative and continue connecting with each other on an emotional level, because I think it's hard to be sexually aroused or attracted to each other when you are not emotionally connected to the person. When you see something that you think you might like online, just send it to the other person and say like, I want to try this to you, or tell them what you want to do and keep communicating, I guess.
I guess for me, I mean, I just recently got into a relationship. All right, so both of us know that it's more of a long-term companion rather than a marriage and all that. So we make it a point that each weekend we'll spend each weekend together. All right, and then of course some days, if let's say we know that weekend we're going to be busy, let's say he has to work or I've got to work, then we'll try to spend some weekday together. I mean, it could just be dinner or like for example, like recently he has to go for some medical checkup. I will make some arrangement. I'll drive him there, or I'll bring him there and all that. And I think for us, or rather for me, I do notice that sometimes he may not be that observant about certain things, and I'll just tell him. I mean, what for guess, right? I mean, I don't want to guess what he's thinking, and I also don't want to make it so tough for him. Like, you better guess, right? So it's like, for example, like my birthday, I say I want a watch. So my friend say, isn't that boring? Why don't you just surprise him? I said, no. I said, what if he go and buy me something that I don't going to use it, and then I go to like purposely use it just to show him that I appreciate it? I said, no. I'll tell him, you know what? I think I want a watch, and then I'll let you decide. Even you buy me a $10 watch, it's still a watch, right?
Yeah.
So just tell them there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
No need to keep guessing. Very tired.
I agree.
Exactly.